thought I'd answer this before I go to bed real quick. Yeah, I like investing. And in fact, that's my primary mode of getting products in, probably for the last year and a half, except for the last 2 months because of the extension and the brand messaging stuff and having to test that a lot. I actually really like the investing side of it. For me, one of the things about it is it gives you the most control over the products that you're able to get. If you're primarily relying on brand collaborations, you're always at like the mercy of what they're willing to send you. It's a very passive and reactionary position that you're in there. And that's even if they recognize your existence at all. If you got some money in your pocket, Amazon will send you anything that you want, so you have way more control over what you can actually get your hands on. Obviously, there is a risk involved there. I never would put myself into a situation where I was taking money away from bills or food off my family's table or anything like that in order to invest. I mean, to be honest, I had a full-time salary job whenever I was doing that. And I was already making about the same amount of money as my job from the influencer program. So I was able to invest with a pretty good degree of comfort at that point. So, that was easy for me to do, and I didn't have to think real hard about it. That was a unique position that a lot of people are not in. For me though, because of that risk, of trying to make that money back, I was always extremely tight on what I was willing to say yes to as far as buying a product. It really kind of had to match three categories for me, every product. If it didn't, I didn't consider it. One is it had to be selling, preferably no less than 500 units in the past month. Higher the better. So it had to be selling. If it wasn't selling, nothing else mattered. I'm out. If it was selling, it had to have an upper carousel. I did not want to put my money into a risky position relying on a lower carousel only that we know has lesser visibility. I'm not going to do that with my money. So if it didn't have an upper carousel, I was out. Uh, if it was selling and it had an upper carousel, then I was looking for a specific setup for the videos, and that was 1 to 2 brand videos tops and 0 influencer videos. Now, a lot of you are going to hear that and go, that's impossible. It's really not. If you spend an hour with a product research tool, you'll find plenty of those opportunities there. And to be honest, it was fine for me for that not to be a lot of products that I found because my money was on the line. And so I'd rather spend more time finding fewer products that had a better chance of making me more return because I was being stingy about those types of things. And so that's the thing is if somebody's going to do that, people need to be focused on the highest quality products having the best possible metrics. I would never invest my money on products that were okay. If I saw a product that was only selling 200 units a month, probably not going to do it. Just not worth it. Even if it had the perfect influencer count, probably not going to do it. I might, depending on the situation and the product, but it's not a slam dunk for me. If I see a product that had 3 influencer videos on it, I'm out. I'm not going to purchase that one. Now, those are all great for asking for brand collaborations, right? Those are totally perfect for that. No investment, no risk, aside from the time to make the video. And they're not oversaturated and they're still selling. That's good. But those are like so. Those are decent. I'm not looking for decent whenever I'm looking to invest my money. I'm looking for really good. And again, it's a risky situation. I don't ever want to hear stories of people that took food off their family's table or money away from bills in order to spend $80 on investment. You're not going to make a lot of money back on $80 of investment. Typically, what I'm going to tell people is if they're going to consider this, make sure you have the money to do it. You're not putting anything into a risky situation in order to do this because the money may not pan out for you. We're not looking for everything to be a slam dunk. We're just looking for more things to be a slam dunk than are not a slam dunk. And start small. I mean, look, my first investment month, I think it was like $200 or something. And I looked back and at that month, I went, oh, my needle moved a little bit and I did a little bit more the next month. And so that's, if you're going to do it, if you're in a position that you can do it, that's what I would recommend is go down sort of that route of just be cautious about it with the understanding that some stuff's just not going to pan out. And even if it does, it may not pan out in the first month or second month. It needs to be a strategy that if you are going to implement it, is something that grows over time so that you can take whatever increase in money that you're actually making from investing and then turn around and reinvest that, hopefully to make the thing bigger and bigger and bigger. It's a long answer to a short question. I get that, but wanted to provide some context into my thought process around investment instead of just saying yes so that people don't put themselves into a financial lurch trying to do what I do. It's got some pitfalls to it. There's no doubt, but and I definitely took some losses on some products. I just took more wins than I took losses, and so my commission rates ultimately reflected that. So hopefully this gives you some context. Purchasing is not the only way to do it. The only way to win. There are some people winning out there that are purchasing nothing and doing everything through collaborations. As my dad would say, there's a lot of different ways to skin a cat, which is a gross saying because that means people were skinning cats in multiple different ways.